Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. Welcome back to Wet n Wild. We are here again for another update today. Just want to express my gratitude once again for the amazing feedback I've been getting on the series. All the support is very much appreciated. I've been having some fun this week making some more additions to the park, so let's have a little look around at what's been happening. So starting off over here, you can see already we've got various additions. I'm going to be a bit lost on what to say this week because I've mainly been building slides and I don't really know anything about slides. So I don't have much kind of illuminating to say. Well, I can talk about everything I've done around the slides. On this side of the wave pool here, you can see that I've kind of continued this sloping bed, which comes up to this level here where the kind of half pipe slide is. And before we continue around that way, I will just point out that I've added in this little kind of entry to the backstage area here, which has got the pump and filter house for the half pipe slide here. We've got some little steps which come down into the building. Like with the wave pool, I haven't actually built an interior on this pump house. I have built one, which you would have seen in the intro over here, so we'll have a look at that in a bit. But for this one, I just wanted to keep it really simple. I did run this extra pipe along the side of the slide here, which then runs up to the back here, because there would be some sort of piping supplying this water from the top of the half pipe here. And I mean, honestly, there would probably also be pipes piped into all along the side here as well. And then, of course, we've got the pipe coming out on this side, which comes up the tower to supply the top of the slide. As many of you will know, the pipe pieces that we've got at the moment are kind of fairly limited, so I'm using these posts at the moment as pipes. There is a pipe set in the aquatic scenery set, but they don't really go small enough, even with the scaling tool. So just making do with this for now. And then another little thing to point out is that I've managed to hide the support on this slide platform here. You can actually quite easily hide the supports on these flume platforms by placing a new platform. And when you go to place it, if you press shift to sort of slap it to the ground and then place it in the ground like that, and then if you just advance move it off the ground, then it will not have a support. So that's really useful if you know that before you start building the slide. But for this slide tower here and this one, I hadn't figured that out yet. So what I had to do with these, I figured out that if you put another slide platform underneath them, it will cancel out the support. So basically I've just dug a hole underneath here, hidden a slide platform there, and then just covered up my sins with some concrete. And yeah, I've done the same thing over here as well. You can also use terrain. If you're very intricate with the terrain, you can put like a little sliver of terrain in the underneath of the platform here. That will also work, but it's kind of a pain to do. So if you want to do it on existing slides, then that's the best method I've worked out so far, because pathing doesn't cancel out the support. Ideally, Frontier will eventually just give us the ability to remove these supports. But yeah, anyway, coming around here, we've got the entrance to the half pipe slide over here. It's, you know, super chill really. Continuing with our extremely sort of generic styling. I know that there's a mod now to get rid of these gates, and I haven't installed it yet, to be honest. Because I'm planning to put this on the workshop, I don't want to kind of, because it'll kind of misrepresent what it's going to look like when you download it. So yeah, obviously this is unideal, but we're just going to live with it for now. And then obviously over here you can see we've got a load more slides, and we've got a proper entrance for these slides here now. So we've got this kind of two-laned queue entrance here. If you take the left, then you go for the raft races with the purple slides, and then this right entrance takes you up to the tower with the two spiralizer flumes and the dueling drops here. So if we continue down here, if we come along under here, we can jump across this gate here. And again, on this one, just like on the other one, I buried a flume platform under here to get rid of the supports. And then over here we've got the more detailed pump house, which is the result of a kind of a YouTube rabbit hole that I fell down. If I just bring you down here through the door. So in here we've got this sort of pump and filter house, and this setup is basically cribbed from YouTube channel The Pool Guy, which is a really interesting channel. If you're at all interested in how things work, like I am, then YouTube channels like The Pool Guy are extremely interesting. It's basically just a guy who runs a water park in Texas, and he kind of shows you the maintenance process for loads of different bits of the water park, including several walkthroughs of his kind of pump and filter houses. So this may not be 100% accurate. Obviously, I don't have first-hand knowledge of how these things work. I've had to kind of infer all of this from watching videos. But basically, what's happening is, you know, all the water's coming down off the slides, and then it would be running down to this low point here, which is a sort of sump pool. We've got a little entry valve for that here. So this would be taking the runoff basically from the bottom of all the slides through a sort of pipe down to this low point here. And then you have this one on the left here has got the filter system built into it. So this is pulling the water through the loop here, and then this pump is supplying one of the slides, and then these two are just pumps which is supplying. This one sort of goes off towards the raft racers, And this one goes up this tower as well to supply the spiralizer slides, the green and the orange ones. And then the filter has this kind of loop element here, which I don't completely understand, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's something to do with these filters operate on a kind of pre-coat system, I believe they call it, where you have to kind of pre-coat the filter media before you can properly start running the system. So you have this loop here where the water kind of goes in a circle through the filter repeatedly. And then at some point you press a button here and this little valve up here switches and the water starts getting sent through the system. So basically this one on the left here is pulling water generally from the sump through the filter. And once you reach like a suitable filtration level, you would then turn on the rest of the pumps. Or maybe you run it all at the same time. I don't really know. I just thought it looked cool, basically. As I say, it's not my intention to build kind of a pump house like this for every slide in the park. I just kind of wanted to give it a try over here. The pool guy actually has a really good video where he shows off the inner workings of his wave pool machinery as well, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then as for the slides themselves, I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory, really. As I said last time, I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the slides. I'm just kind of freestyling. And then, yeah, the surrounding area here, we've got this kind of large grain gravel here, which is made of this Viking fence piece. Initially, when I made these two slides, I had them coming off into a runoff pool, which I can actually show you because I moved it over here. I made this kind of pool here, which had the slides coming in like this, and whilst it looked cool, it just didn't feel right for some reason. It felt more correct for these slides to all be going into runoffs. But rather than just delete this completely, I thought I'd move it over here and maybe we'll have a different slide, like a single slide that just comes straight into here. So yeah, although we're not using this at the moment, I was pretty chuffed with this little railing here, which is got these tiny metal support beams and then just posts and beams really. And then this little exit pool here actually had the first kind of iteration of the gravel, where I was actually using a mixture of the Viking fence and this little Market Decoration 14, which I think is actually a set of apples. Yeah, when you first place it down, it's green coloured like this. So this looks okay, but they're kind of shiny, and at a distance it just starts to look a bit, even though they're all rotated randomly, you can still kind of see almost like a pattern in them, or I don't know. They look okay. It's also like, you know, these two groups here are 2,300 objects, so in terms of piece count, not particularly effective, but it does look kind of cool, especially from like peep view. I think it looks pretty decent. Ideally, Frontier will just give us like some sort of pebble mulch gravelly pieces like we had with TMTK. That would be great. So yeah, I think that's most of the new stuff to show you. I think this side is basically done, and then we're going to look at maybe doing 1 or 2 more episodes. You can get rid of this, that was just me messing around. We're going to have a kind of lightly themed sort of splash play area in the middle here, a couple of little junior slides over on the left here, and then maybe 1 or 2 more sort of big flumes here. And that's basically going to be it. And then I just need to sort of cap off this backstage area here. And then I'll probably add a little backstage here. And there'll need to be like a road of some sort coming, looping back round to the front here. And that is basically going to be it, I think. As much fun as I'm having with this, you know, as I've been saying, the intention has always been to keep this a relatively short series. So I don't want to drag it out too much. We're just going to fill out this side of the park here with 1 or 2 more episodes. And that's going to be it, I reckon. And we can move on to some of the sort of theme parky stuff, ideas that I've been cooking up, because I've got some pretty fun ideas for theme park projects that I want to work on. Yeah, I love the views that you get from this side now. But now that we've got all the slides over there, like, it's looking great. I'm proper chuffed. Anyway, bit of a shorter one there for you today. Thanks again for all the support on the series so far, and I will catch you next time. Bye!